the offense stress, and he's doing some of that.
Steve Robertson, JeansPage.com on the Modelo guest line talking MSU football. How did Will Rogers look?
Efficient. Just what you'd expect. They hit a couple throws down the field, but a lot of it was kind of controlled stuff where you're working those crossing routes, you're checking the ball down, and just a lot of what you'd expect Will to do. I guess he did have the one interception, Tyra Sweet, but just thought what you'd expect Will Rogers to be. Just smart with the football, does a good job of aiding pressure and getting out there and dumping the ball off to his guys. But it's one of those things too. I think really the bigger issue with the quarterback position is who's going to be number 2, and then it looked like it was going to be Jack Abraham for a long time, but Lovertich got more of the snaps on Saturday when we were there. And so I think that battle is probably a little closer than maybe we thought. I think Lovertich is making this thing awfully interesting, and he's not the biggest guy. He's a little bit shorter, and with that big, massive offensive line, I wonder sometimes how he would be able to kind of see over the line. But when he gets flushed and has to get outside the pocket and be an athlete, he's able to do that. And I think it's not just a throw-in type deal where he just kind of shows up and is just hoping to be closer to home. That guy's really competing, and I think he's really pushing hard for that number 2 spot.
Interesting. Can you imagine if Abraham and Lovertich were 6'1", how good they'd be, or 6'2"?
Oh yeah, man, and that's the reason they went G5 in the first place. It wasn't necessarily because of the fact they didn't know how to play football. It's just that they didn't have Power 5 size, and so they got to go, fit in where they can get in, and that's what they did. Now they're taking a shot, gambling on themselves one more time. But I thought Lovertich did some good things, and I don't know that I expected him to get as many reps as he did, but he did. He did a pretty good job.
Who else? He put up at Southern Miss, so he's in the top 16.
Are you saying there's a battle at Starkville?
I'm not saying that, actually, but I do think it's kind of cool that Lovertich is from the area and went to prep, and Jack Abraham went to Oxford High School, and they're both battling for the number 2 position in Mike Leach's offense.
Yeah.
So, Matt Corral is ahead of Sam Howell, Spencer Rattler, and all this other nonsense that people are trying to throw at you in the off season. As far as who's the best returning QB?
Is part of that because he has the best offensive coach out of those guys you just named?
Georgia doesn't believe in offensive coaches.
Correct.
So take Georgia off at number 1.
Yeah.
Matt Corral's number 2. You're referencing Lane Kiffin. Spencer Rattler has a phenomenal. Sam Howell has Phil Longo, who is excellent.
Mac Brown, I guess. Is Mac Brown doing anything?
I don't think so.
Okay.
I think it's
Mississippi State had its first scrimmage of the spring on Saturday. Brian Haydad saw it in person. These are the things that are true.
Hello, friends. Welcome to These Are the Things That Are True. First time here on the show. I got 4 of them. Normally I would have 10 to 12, but we don't have that kind of time. Number 1.
Well, we got 45 minutes left.
That's true. Number 1. I thought Jack Abraham was the 3rd best quarterback on the field Saturday. He had a couple of drops, but overall, not really that impressive. I was impressed with the number 2 quarterback, who was the number 3 quarterback, Chance Lovertich, the grad transfer from South Alabama. I think he might make a real push to be the number 2 guy. Rogers looked good, nothing overly impressive, but good. That's number 1. All of these things are 100% true. Number 2.